You are about to enter a space of ultimate football knowledge. From four guys with little to no actual football experience, except for armchair quarterbacking. Brace yourself for passion and knowledge like you have never seen. Welcome to the Football is King podcast. All right. Hello, everybody. And it's a sad day here on the Football is King podcast. We just wanted to welcome you to the official funeral for the Texas A&M football team. Their season is officially over already. It's 1 week in. You will notice I'm in my nice jacket today. So yeah, we're hosting our funeral today. But before we get started, we just are super appreciative of all of our listeners, and it's time. We are official. We're back on a weekly basis now. It's here. 2 episodes a week. Not today. Or not this week. No 2 episodes this week. But starting next week, we will be back with 2 episodes every single week. 1 college, which will probably be pretty sad if it continues the way that it started. And then 1 NFL.
We all just stopped and we're like, we lost Austin.
I was waiting for the side view.
All right. Can you at least, because my sound good?
Yeah, your sound's fine.
Cool. We're going to move some things around as we talk today. But I was trying to mention that we're just so appreciative of all the people that are out there listening to us. And y'all have done a great job recently of liking and subscribing and all of the things. We ask that you keep doing that. That's been great. We're getting a lot of shares on the social medias as well, which is also fantastic. So if you could continue to do that as well, it's very helpful for us as we try to grow as a community.
I seriously can't take you serious with the jacket on.
What, you don't like the suit jacket today?
Dude, you look like, I understand that this is describing you, but like you look like a nerdy science teacher from high school.
Oh yeah, it's great. You know, I was like, I'm gonna take it off halfway through, but I think I'm gonna keep it on now.
I've heard times that it's not a funeral after the first loss. Second loss, that's a funeral.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a funeral, fellas.
I'm calling it a funeral.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
It was the same old Aggies is the sad thing.
Defense looks fun.
Defense looks great.
It looks great.
But guess what?
I rewatched the game today.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you're gonna win games and championships in college football, it's not through defense. That strategy is for.
But to be fair, we did not think any of us, honestly, other than Shane, none of us were out here preaching that A&M was winning a title this year.
No. But I thought that we could be.
It's not my fault. Y'all are all negative.
I thought we could look like a competent football team. And we only looked half
like
competent.
Jimbo Fisher was still in the house.
No, it was worse than Jimbo.
It was way worse than with Jimbo.
We moved the ball fine in the first half.
But it wasn't forward. It was just the quarter. I think it was really just the quarterback.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All right.
Yeah, the receivers weren't like
the receivers
they didn't get enough shots to even do anything.
We wouldn't even know because they didn't even. There was no opportunity. If they were open, the ball was going 10 feet over their head. Or he was throwing to spots opposite of which they were running.
But you know one of the big difference. I love how we jumped into this because
we're jumping right in, y'all. Welcome.
You notice this is what's on our heart.
Hey, wait, time out, Jonathan. If we had Lamar Jackson as our quarterback, could you imagine?
Whoa.
No,
that wasn't a real take, by the way.
I will say you want to know a huge difference from this year and last year? Connor Wegman talked after the game. Jimbo would have not allowed him to give an interview last year. There's no way. You play a bad game, Jimbo is not going to let you go and talk. And Connor manned up and he said, that was on me. I've never played that bad in my life. I have to be better.
I don't want to see another interview from him, honestly. I'm done with him.
Well, no.
Sorry. Who you don't play, Shane?
Shane jumps off the quarterback bandwagon quicker than anyone I've ever.
Oh, I am. I do.
I'm not saying I'm done with the guy, but also
would have gave up on freaking every Heisman quarterback in the past 10 years in the first week.
He wouldn't have even started for the Austin School of the Blind and the Deaf after that.
That's a hard stretch, but sure.
he was quite literally seeing ghosts.
The second half was really, really bad.
Yeah. The whole game was bad.
No, it wasn't. It truly wasn't. I went back and rewatched the game.
First drive, good.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna take this a little bit by a little. We can't just, if we go just stream of consciousness here, we're gonna be all over the place. I did want to respond to Jonathan's thing of, as someone who does watch some of the different sports, I am tired of the interview come out and say, I played a bad game, I gotta do better. No, shut up. I don't want to hear you say it. We all know you played a bad game. You don't need to tell me that you played a bad game. Like, I do want you to do better.
It's taking accountability in your actions, though.
He's taking account. We know they're taking accountability. We know these guys are the most the most competitive people on the planet. They know when they sucked, and we know that they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be going into the locker room and they're going to be, say that to your teammates maybe, but I don't need like the Instagram apology. I don't need you coming out in the interview.
Well, that was a press conference, not a.
I know, but just a lot of times they will be like, "Oh, today wasn't my best day," or whatever. It's like, just
look. I think taking accountability for you having a bad game is good.
As a quarterback, you definitely need to do that in your locker room. You need to be out there to your teammates and be like, "Hey, this one's on me, y'all. Like, I didn't do my job."
To me, the concerning part about it is this was not like this didn't seem like a physical issue. This was like a mental issue.
Yeah.
He wasn't even throwing to the correct spots. And then he wouldn't even throw to like a second read. He was going first read whether they were open or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like more of a mental block, which maybe has to do with last year when they literally every quarterback we had got absolutely murdered because our offensive line was so bad.
Yeah.
It was like he was anticipating getting killed.
We're just gonna hope it's a 1-game yips.
The thing is, though, our offensive line didn't look for pass protection. Didn't look like they gave him time. He would have had the opportunity to throw the ball.
Oh, I agree. I think a lot of times it was like he was anticipating something coming at him, and there was no one there. He was running or he was bailing. Like he was doing what Haynes King used to do, where he never like takes a 3-step drop and then just plants his foot and throws it. He was like backpedaling as he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Which is why he was over like that first interception. The dude was wide open. He just overthrew by 10 yards.
I just can't. I'll say, like, the first drive, even though it was primarily running the ball, like, we walked the ball down there and then it was the same story of the whole game. We could put together some first downs, get across the 50, and then boom, we were done.
It's the worst kind of drive. It's super annoying. Just like, you feel like you get some momentum, and then you punt them deep, and then the defense plays. The defense does play well, but it does also help the defense's like stats and aura going from it of, hey, Notre Dame is starting deep in their own territory on every single possession. Because our offense will move the ball to the opposing 45-yard line and then crap the bed.
That first possession, we should have had that touchdown to Smith. Like, if he makes that throw, that's a totally different game, I think.
Yeah. Oh, there's like 2 throws. That one where it would have been a first down. I forget. Maybe it was to Noah. It was just a 10-yard little comeback and threw it way behind him. That was late in the game. That would have made a difference. And it's just like That's
the one where the guy dove and broke it up.
Yeah.
It was 5 yards behind him.
Yeah, and it's like
points change games. So like anything that would have led to points that didn't lead to points, that changes a game, like for sure. And I don't. It's in every single sport, points change games. Like, it's just a fact.
Bad. I don't put it on Colin Klein because I don't feel like there was no ability to ever get into any sort of rhythm because we couldn't ever make a throw.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like those offenses where you're trying to go like tempo, which we did a little bit, you're relying on people making plays. When people aren't making plays, those offenses die because you can't ever get ahead.
Or and this is, we've already said it, but the most frustrating thing is it's not even giving your wide receivers the ability to make a play. It wasn't even giving them a shot to make a play.
No, there were several throws that legit were not even in. Like, it was like, who'd you see?
Yeah, they were not in the right zip code. I'm honestly shocked a couple of times that he didn't get called for intentional grounding because he missed the guy by so much that, like,
yeah,
you could say that he wasn't throwing it to anyone.
There was one play in my mind that this is where I knew, like, he's lost because the receiver is running like a quick, like, up and in. Like, maybe he went 5 yards.
Yeah.
Connor throws it as if he's going up and out.
He threw an out route. He threw an out route to the sideline. That's the first.
As soon as that happened, I said, "Oh, he's lost. He is
very
lost."
And honestly, I mean, I know that you probably can't actually do it. I know that you can't bench him in the first game of the season.
That third quarter, I would have thought about it.
I would have.
I was thinking about it. I was like, hey, even if our backup can't throw, but is, adding a running option that the defense didn't prepare for. Like, you got to have something.
You can't say you can't bench him in the first game because we've seen quarterbacks get benched in the national freaking championship.
No,
that's different though. They don't have
way different.
That's way different. They don't have to go the rest of the season.
Yeah, if you bench somebody's first game, you could ruin their whole career.
Okay, but you're a D1 athlete. You got to have the mental toughness to say, I suck right now. I suck, and this guy might give us a better chance to win.
Well, he clearly doesn't have the mental toughness. We watched it live.
I agree with you, Shane, but like Elko's not thinking about necessarily this one game totally. He has to make an entire season without losing 8 of them.
Yeah.
Are you talking about benching?
Our friend Norvell is doing it right now with old DJ.
Yeah, no. You can't bench him. If you benched him, that you would have washed the entire season.
Yeah, that's what I said. But like, it's one of those, like, if you think about it on the microscopic level, to win that game, the right decision is probably to bench him at halftime, or at least early in the third quarter.
In the third, but like the first half wasn't horrible.
We watched a completely different football game.
Okay, first off, all right, first drive. We should have kept running the ball. Mike Elko said it best. Run the fucking football.
Well, the only time he said that was when we were trying to continue to throw. That was on the second to last play of the game. It wasn't him saying that early in the second quarter, being like, hey, we're throwing it too much. He was saying that because he wanted the game to be over. And he knew that Connor was going to throw an incompletion and the clock was going to stop again.
First possession. Ran the ball all over the place. We just couldn't get past that freaking false start, and then we kick a field goal. Second possession.
Wasn't that the one where that was the tailback running out, and he just missed the throw?
Yeah. But I understand. But we scored, dude. Shane, getting a field goal on that first possession, totally fine. Second possession, it was a flag, and then a bad run, and then a screen pass for nothing, and then we punted it away. This third possession, we could have scored. And then we have a freaking wide receiver that literally doesn't line up for a 3rd down and 1, and the dude doesn't know where he's supposed to be standing, and we get a false start because he's walking around while Connor runs for 4 yards in a QB sneak. And so then we're back.
You shouldn't snap the ball. He's put 13 seconds on the play clock.
That was not on Connor. That dude was walking around.
That's not on Connor. He's literally.
Whoa. Hold on.
You got to make sure your guys are set. You got to
I'm just saying.
Then call a timeout. Then Elko should have called a timeout. No, that's not on Connor. Everyone's set, and this dude's walking around.
Okay, hold on, though. If y'all will recall, all the way back to middle school football, the first thing that they tell the quarterback, your job is before you snap it, you double check that everyone's set.
He did get set though, and then he started walking around.
Set, and then he walked away.
I'm saying no matter what, Jonathan, even if you're like, okay, I'm not saying it's like, obviously the first half is not all on Connor.
No.
The dude has 100 yards passing by the end of the game. It's not like he was lighting it up in the first half.
No, but they also didn't throw the fucking ball.
Some of those things
he couldn't throw the ball.
Some of those plays were, hey, if he makes a better throw on 3rd down or whatever, like that drive is continuing.
The first interception.
Yeah, it's all the first interception or the throw to the running back on the out route in early on. It's the Dak Prescott syndrome, except for Connor didn't have the stats. Dak Prescott is a very, very good quarterback, except for he is horrific on third down, which is the money down. That's the down that matters the most. And Dak Prescott is like all-time bad on third down, which is why the Cowboys, even though they put up these amazing stats, they don't win all the games, even though they probably could be winning most of the games. Like, and so Connor definitely didn't have it. And if it was late in the season, I bet Connor's butt was riding that bench in the third quarter, pretty early on. But I'm with you. There's no way that you can bench him in the first game of the season. The season is over at that point in time.
I don't expect Connor to play that bad again. But if he does even show a resemblance of that,
I think that we've seen it. We've seen him play. He's never
played like that.
Never played
No.
like that.
I agree. I totally agree. But that was
the part where they almost lost me is when he's puking out of his face mask. I'm like,
yeah, no. When your quarterback is throwing up,
that's when you should have pulled him.
Yeah, I'm also gonna.
That's what I'm gonna
add into this. I was watching the game with my dad. The number one comment that my dad said all the time is that our quarterback is fat.
Yeah.
Okay, he has a flak jacket on too.
But he might not be the most in shape.
I thought it too.
Like, why is he throwing up? Why are you puking? Like,
I was hoping he was sick.
I'm thinking he was sick.
Elko said it's because he got hit in the gut, but I don't buy that.
If he was sick, they would be putting that out immediately, because then it would be a great excuse for why he was terrible.
I saw one tweet about it, but no one officially said he was sick. I saw a thing say if he's sick, he shouldn't be playing.
No, that's dumb. Athletes Michael Jordan flu game. Athletes play sick all the time.
Okay,
to do greatness.
First off, two totally different types of people. You're talking about the greatest basketball player of all time, and you're talking about a 20-year-old kid.
I'm just saying, there's lots of people who have played sick and been fine. Paul Pierce in
you
the
remember
wheelchair
that,
scenario.
John? I'm gonna remember you said that.
All right,
Jackson.
So he's gained. He did. I agree. He looked overweight.
He looks a bit overweight in the face, specifically.
The face he does.
The face he looks a little chubby.
He was listed at 208 in high school. He's listed at 220 now.
I'm just saying that was
I agree. When he was
a completely neutral observer was like, your quarterback is fat.
He did, but
No, I agree. He did look fat.
He does have the abdomen.
He looked a little chubby.
He has a flak jacket. Tons of guys wear a flak jacket, but also tons of guys wear a flak jacket and don't look.
But here's my thing. All right, say he is fat and say he's extremely out of shape. Why is he playing? Why is he the starter?
I mean, he's our best quarterback. It's A&M's biggest problem is we don't recruit good quarterbacks. We recruit these guys that are 5 stars. I don't care about your stars if you don't play well in college football.
Yeah, but okay, that's saying that you're right. We don't recruit guys that pan out.
Correct.
We recruit great recruits. They just don't pan out.
Or
they do pan out just at a different school, like Kyler Murray.
Or it's just one of those things where they get their stars because they were in a very advantageous situation for high school where they just dominate a bunch of bad teams.
Okay, first off, Connor played at a very high level in high school.
No. I'm not saying. I'm just saying like this is I'm just saying in recruiting in general, a lot of times like it's the same thing. You know, when I listen to UT Sports Radio or anything like that, like it's just like I don't care about how many stars you have at all. I care about how you play once you get on campus. I don't care if you're a 3-star. If I'm
can't just recruit based off that.
No. I'm not saying that we're doing bad recruiting. Well, unless like there was signs that he didn't have the mentals, then that would be bad recruiting. I'm not saying that
he was drafted in the MLB. Like he has mental.
All Austin is saying is just because you got 5 stars doesn't mean you're going to be a good football player.
Yeah, I'm
100%. And DJ was ranked higher than Tua.
Also, I don't care that you were drafted into the MLB. Like you could easily
400 people get drafted.
you can show that
He
someone
was
maybe doesn't have the best
like
mental.
3-round draft pick, Shane. It's not like the kid was in the 7th.
Okay, so he's gonna go play in quadruple A for 20 years. Ooh.
No, the point is he's a all-around good athlete. I understand that you have jumped off the bandwagon. You are done with Connor. You hope he never plays another down. The guy's the best guy we have for the job right now.
No, I am fully on board with that. I'm just saying our last 2 5-star quarterbacks who were supposed to be the saviors.
Probably further back than that.
I'm further back than that.
Well, Kellen Mond was a good break, but we had several.
Kellen Mond sucked.
Probably
But, like,
five of our last 6 quarterbacks that were 5-stars have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, and like we've got a problem develop. Here, I'll rephrase the question or the statement. We have a problem developing quarterbacks. They might come into campus being superstars, and they don't get better.
True. I would agree. I would agree.
Where right now, as an A&M fan, and this kills me to say, I would take both UT quarterbacks over my quarterback right now.
Yeah.
I would take. No, but that's a terrible thing to have. That your arch rival has a guy willing to sit the bench than to play for anyone else at that school.
When we talk about them, I need to walk back some takes I had last week.
That's fine. Or when the transfer portal opens and you have these guys that are supposed to be super good and they're going to other schools, we're never bringing in.
I don't think Mike Elko really looked for a quarterback there. I think he just had to.
I think that was the right thing. Connor looked so good last year.
Yeah,
Connor
he had
looks good.
Connor. And Jonathan, I'm not totally off the Connor bandwagon, but I will say I've watched Powerpuff Football where I thought was more entertaining than what I saw at quarterback on Saturday.
Wouldn't you say that's probably more of a one-off situation then?
I hope so, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out this week.
It's a one-off situation.
Texas A&M Twitter was the most insufferable group of people.
We
lost to them, and I know that's how Twitter is. That's how fanhood is. Whatever. We lost to a team that's going to be in the playoff.
They're going to be. They might be undefeated.
We were tied with 4.5 minutes to go in the game, with a new coach, a new offensive coordinator, a quarterback playing like crap. The overreaction was unbelievable.
I agree, but I mean the offense was
ready to burn Connor Wigman.
I will say Klein's offense looked mediocre at best.
But it's not his fault. I really don't think it's his fault.
And he couldn't do anything because he could never get anything started. We couldn't move the ball.
Well, we were moving it on the ground. Our wide receivers have to get open.
Jonathan, we averaged 3 yards a carry. That's not moving the ball.
Shane, we were moving the ball. We averaged 3 yards a carry. We ran the ball 89% of the game. So if you run it,
Notre Dame ran the ball just as much as us. Guess how much they average a carry?
Well, they had two big runs.
It's 2 big runs.
They have 2 big runs.
2 big runs.
That changes the average completely.
But
so
still,
if we break out for 170-yard carry, our average goes up to 6 yards a carry.
That's the funny thing about football. That's how it works. That's how the game works.
Okay, first off,
we got
3 yards a carry, 3 downs. We're at 4th and 1 every fucking down. Every possession, we're at 4th and 1. I'll take it. Give me that.
I will not take it because you're only going to go for it on 4th down, depending on your field position.
I understand.
And if you're on your own 25-yard line on 4th and 1,
my argument is if we can put together a few 7, 8, 9, 15-yard passes, now we're moving the ball because the run game is fine. Le'Veon Moss played a fantastic first half.
My thing is we're going to find out this week.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. We can't score
if we have another Nickel State scenario like we did a few years ago where week number 1, the offense was pathetic and we were like, it's fine. We played a good team because A&M likes to schedule a really tough opponent week 1 for some reason. And we have a bad game week 1. And then we're like, all right, let's play Nickel State. Except for this week, it's going to be McNeese State. I mean, if we're not scoring, I don't even care. Like, if the defense has a bad game, whatever, the defense will be fine. If we're not scoring 40 points this week.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Alarm bells. I don't care if we win 39-0. I'm on team alarm bells. If this offense can't score 40 points on McNeese State.
So we can yell about this all night, but I'm in agreement with that. I think this game this week became much more interesting because it's going to tell us a lot.
And if the score is like 45-0, but 14 of those points comes from the defense or the special teams, then I am also still on team concerned. I need the offensive side of the ball to score at least 40.
I agree with that. And to put a cap on one thing, I do not blame our defense for those 2 big runs. No. I do not.
You can only play defense for so long before
you can only hold it up for
so
long.
The other thing is, this is why I don't like scheduling a big team week 1. You never imagine that you're going to have to come in with a new coach, new offensive coordinator, a whole new offensive system.
Yeah.
But there has to be some gelling between the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, which we had no time to do. We were immediately thrown into this group of guys that are supposedly, I didn't know this, are really good players. Their secondary is apparently really good.
Yeah.
So you're asking Connor to learn an offense with playing against potential. I think they said there was like 3 dudes that would probably be draft picks on
top 5 secondary. Everyone said.
Yeah, they have 2 All-American secondary.
That's
and we saw we've mentioned multiple times now, like, hey, the receivers needed to get open. The receivers had a tough night. Those guys could plaster onto them. Really, their secondary was fun to watch, to be honest. If I was a neutral, that game would have been so awesome to watch on just a defensive level. Both sides were flying around.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like both. Shane and I were talking about this off air earlier, but our secondary looked pretty freaking good too.
Yeah.
Like,
it was going to be one big play was going to break the game open, and
it did.
Yeah.
And I told Austin off air. I heard a lot this past couple days about how our secondary didn't look that great, and I'm like, I don't know what game. I don't know if I was watching a different game. Our secondary looked fine to me, and in particular, that Will Lee guy from Kansas State. That dude's a beast. Dude's a monster.
I think our defense is the top 5 in the country.
Oh, yeah.
They're insanely good.
But
if we're going to get where we want to go, our offense needs to also be a top 25 offense.
Yep.
Another thing to keep in mind, everybody, Steve Sarkisian, his first year at Texas, didn't they lose 7 games?
They lost 7 games.
But very different. Very different. Sark is also like an offensive guru.
Oh, I agree. Totally.
That team was the exact opposite, where their defense was the definition of Swiss cheese.
For sure.
And like Elko's a great coach, but the offense isn't necessarily going to like improve because of Mike Elko.
No, that's why he hired Klein.
Look,
that will happen.
So I got home today, and Winston decided to share his frustration. He tore up my A&M hat.
Oh no!
Really tore up.
There's a good metaphor for this season.
He said, I'm tired of it. I need to see something different. So I thought
there you go.
All right. I think we'll be fine. I
did too.
I think we'll be fine.
If you had told anyone,
I don't think we're a playoff team. But
no,
everyone would have taken that in a million years.
What I need from this football team is they need to win their next 4 games before going into Missouri.
Okay, I was gonna say if we obviously we win this weekend. If we beat Florida on the road, I know everyone thinks Florida's terrible.
They might
think Florida's terrible. I think Miami's really fucking good.
Well, if you win an SEC game on the road, I will take that all day long. We haven't done that in 2 years.
Yeah.
If we beat Florida, I'm probably somewhat back in.
Also,
I think we're fine if we
I'm sorry. At this point, I'm trying to say, like, if we're going to be as we wanted us to be at the beginning of the year, if we're going to make the playoffs, and I'm going to start to hope again that we're going to make the playoffs, like, we need to be undefeated going into Mizzou
I'm down.
And then, I mean, that's going to be. I mean, obviously, that's not going to that's going to be a hard game as well. But like, we could beat Mizzou at home
because Mizzou is. They'll probably be undefeated, I believe.
Probably. The thing that I actually, as an A&M fan,
the season is not over.
No. But I'm saying the thing that I always feel bad for, and it was the same when we were in school. We always lose the big game at home. Always. Yes. We win on the road. We never win the big home game. We won one time against Alabama, but other than that, it's always been on the road.
1-8.
1-9, I believe now with College Game Day.
Yeah, we definitely don't need College Game Day around.
Tennessee, I believe it was Tennessee, and was that when were we in school when it was Tennessee?
That was the 7 overtime game.
No, that was
LSU.
That was College Game Day there for that.
Yeah. That was LSU, and that was 2019.
Yeah,
Tennessee it was 2017 or 2016. Trevor Knight was playing. I feel like that might have been 2017 or 2016.
There was a game when Ash was in college that I sat at Torchy's across from Kyle Field and watched it go into overtime against a top.
I mean, it's usually close, but like we just never win. Our freshman year, when our team for the first time ever had a good offense and a good defense, and we went 10-2. But we had a freshman quarterback in Johnny Manziel. We lost both of the game. The two losses were both at home to LSU and Florida because Johnny made two, in each game, he made a just freshman mistake, and that was the game.
And our guy, Bertolette, couldn't kick a field goal.
Yeah, Taylor Bertolette was the most hated man on campus.
But then we had out of that class that included Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans.
Colin Klein, I will say also, and I didn't realize this for some reason, this is only his second year as offensive coordinator also. So
it's only his second year?
Yes, he only did one season at Kansas State.
Is that true?
Yes, I looked it up today.
I thought he was at Kansas State for 3 years.
He was not as an offense. So
he might have been the passing game quarterback coach or whatever.
2018, he was the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. 2019 through 21, he was just the quarterbacks coach, and then 2022, he took over as the offensive coordinator.
There's hope, but I think if we can make it to the Mizzou game undefeated, if we win the next 4, we go into Mizzou. That's a tough game, obviously. At Mississippi State is like the banana peel of all banana peels for Texas A&M. So if we can get through that game, I'll just be happy, even though Mississippi State is terrible. But every time they're terrible, they beat us. But I mean, really, our schedule's really not that hard. If you look at it, we've got 3 ranked teams left in Missouri, LSU, and Texas. All 3 of them are at home.
And all 3 of them are winnable games with that defense.
No, Texas is just chalking up a loss.
I hate to admit it, but I think Texas.
That's in 12 weeks.
It's a rivalry game, and anything can happen. But Texas is a significantly better team than A&M is this year.
Right now, at this point in time, probably.
Texas is scary good.
Texas is scary good. But anything can happen in a rivalry game. We've seen.
I also think that I truly think that that defense can hold any college athlete to not look great. That defense.
I know we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about him later. But Arch Manning went 5 of 6 for 95 yards and a touchdown.
Okay, but the thing is if Texas wanted to score 100 points this week, they probably could have done it.
Yeah,
they slowed down significantly to.
Yeah, you're playing Colorado State. You should.
Okay, I understand, but Colorado State can win games against other big club schools.
Colorado.
Who?
They almost beat Colorado last year.
Colorado, exactly. Not a good football team.
Colorado beat TCU. Colorado won 4 games last year, fellas.
Not a good football team.
They're not a good football team, but Colorado State took them to the wire in double overtime.
Are you seriously trying to convince us that 4 games?
I'm saying that Colorado State's not North Dakota State.
I'll say I'm going to be on Team Jonathan on this. Colorado State does usually have one of the most efficient offenses in
Yes.
the NCAA, and they held them to 0 points, which is very difficult to do.
That Texas team looked ungodly good.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying let's chill out. They played.
I'm just saying
they should have scored 70 points.
I'm just saying if we can go.
I'm just being realistic. If they wanted to score 100 points, they probably could have done it.
My whole point was to bring this up. If we can go into the Texas game with 2 losses.
You're playing for playoff.
I'm saying 1, you're playing for a playoff, but 2, we could be that team that has 3 losses and makes the playoff.
Oh yeah.
If that game is close. If you go into that game with only 1 loss,
you're in the playoff.
Just to Notre Dame, even if you lose it, you're in the playoff. So the season is not actually over. The funeral was a bit premature today. But at the same time,
maybe it's what we needed. Maybe this is going to turn the season.
At the same time, we got 3 big games that are all home games. And A&M does not play well at home against big teams. So we'll see how that goes.
Which blows my mind. I mean, that's just
Colorado State team that you're talking about was not good last year. They averaged 25 points a game.
Okay, the point was if they wanted to score 100 points, they could have. Blake, the point is
not learning anything from this game, saying they're ungodly. They played 1 game against Colorado State.
No,
all right, we'll see this week when they put up
ungodly?
40 points on Michigan and
ungodly?
steamrolled.
I was saying
60-something, didn't they?
Blake, my point is that just as of right now, I would say that Texas is miles ahead of where Texas A&M is.
Oh yeah,
I don't disagree.
We'll see this week when they literally steamroll and skull drag Michigan.
73-3. Auburn won 73-3. Are we calling
and
them
Jonathan, Michigan's not going to be in the playoff.
I understand that.
Michigan's
not saying that.
Michigan's not going to be in the top 25.
No, they're terrible.
Michigan's
but y'all
bad.
are missing the point. Y'all are missing the point.
I'm right with you.
You're missing the point. Austin's
I'm
with me, but y'all are missing the point.
I'm my whole thing with week 1 is you cannot judge a team like Oregon. Are we saying Oregon is a bad team because they barely beat Idaho State?
No, I think you have to get the wheels going, but
they'll probably put up 90.
I'm not saying that they're a bad team. I'm saying that they showed a possible chink in their armor.
I agree, but I think week 1 there's potential for a lot of just like.
Oh no, I agree.
Happen.
I agree with you, Blake.
They might have some red zone issues, which could rear its ugly head in the playoffs against a good defense.
It's really scary to think like Texas looks really, really good in week 1. Now let them have 11 more weeks.
That goes both ways because I would not say Auburn is going to be any good this year. They put up 70. They'll probably never do that again in the next 10 years. I think week 1. I'm not saying Texas isn't good. Texas is probably a good football team. I'm just saying overreacting.
No. We can confirm Texas is a good football team. Texas is a good football team.
But overreacting to
that freshman is ungodly.
A little bit of a dangerous predicament there.
I'm just saying that I was just going through the schedule and saying that is a game that we are probably not going to be predicted to win.
I would say
we would have to do an upset of a pretty large fashion.
Yeah, we'll probably be.
But my point was being like, by the time that we play LSU at home, it really might not be that big of an upset because who knows where LSU will be at that point in time. Like, Missouri will definitely have to be an upset, but like no one really looks at Mizzou and goes, "Oh, there's a blue blood program." Like they could have. Mizzou is based off of their quarterback. Their team is based 100% off their quarterback, and and they're 1 wide receiver. But if they have a bad game, then they are very beatable, and our defense is going to do that.
No, but it also is good. Like if you want to talk about like making the playoffs, like if we go in with 2 losses. Yeah, we're going to make the playoff, but seeding-wise, it looked like because Notre Dame's schedule from here on out, they should go in undefeated. Yeah. So we already have one.
They can't be anything higher than a 5 seed, though.
Yeah, but we already have 1 loss. So if we go in and even win 1 out of the 2 as underdogs, that's a good win. You know what I mean? We still,
Yeah.
we
I
look
mean,
good.
I'm not worried about the seeding. I just want to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't
That's
care.
all I want. I just want to make it into the playoffs. And then we can go get steamrolled by whoever. But,
If you're
Well,
in, you're
that's not the right attitude.
I mean, if we make the playoffs, I'm going to be like, hey, we're
Let's
making
be
it.
real.
We're going to win the national championship, baby. Let's
If
do
we
it.
want to
But
overreact to any week 1 game, Georgia is not losing a game, and they may not play
No.
a game in single digits.
Georgia might get 22 people drafted in the
Yeah,
first round.
their defense is ridiculous. Their offense doesn't have to be ridiculous because their defense is not going to let anyone score.
But their offense is ridiculous. Their offense is good too.
Well,
Yeah.
they did okay. The first half was not good.
No, but Clemson's 2 D tackles are just ridiculous.
So Clemson has that's the thing. Clemson has a bunch of dudes on defense.
Yeah, Clemson's defense is just a bunch of dudes.
That Georgia offense by week 4 is going to steamroll people.
Oh, I bet
Oh,
Georgia. The one wild card there is the Texas game because it's in Austin as well. I bet they don't have a game in single digits.
The Texas game, I think, will be a good game.
Like you're saying that you don't think that they'll have any.
There
Like,
will not be
won't-
a point differential in the single digits.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
The Texas
that's
that
gonna be-
Texas game is gonna be a good game.
That's going to be the real test for Texas. In reality, I mean, for
that's
Georgia too.
That's Texas's one test this season.
Yeah. They're going to end up playing each other twice. So
Drew, the last 8 teams are the predicted SEC finish. they drew the worst SEC.
Whoa. How dare you? Vanderbilt has they got a winning football team.
Unbelievable.
Hey, you're supposed to open the window when you're trying to hotbox. We're not in high school anymore. You open the window, let it air out.
All right, hey, while we're gonna step away from A&M because that was a solid 40 minutes.
Yeah, we could yell about that.
We will be here all night, but that was a good transition. I've broken up this week games into good teams that looked good, good teams that looked bad, and then average teams that were impressive. So the good teams that looked good, we already mentioned. Georgia looked great.
Great.
Do we want to say anything else about Georgia that everyone already knows?
They're winning a national championship. I don't they're winning a national championship.
Carson Beck still is the squeaky wheel on that wagon.
Nope. I'm calling it right now. Carson Beck is a top 5 pick in the NFL draft this year.
That doesn't equate to good.
Yeah, that means nothing.
We'll see.
Ohio State was also just ridiculous against Akron, but it's Akron.
Can we also Can we talk about Nick Saban on game day saying just because you paid $20 million doesn't mean you got to pay the right guys $20 million? That was a great line.
I mean, is anyone else kind of surprised that Will Howard is the starting quarterback for Ohio State? He's really not that good.
No, I think they took a step back there.
It was the best they could. I think that's like the best they could get.
But they let
weird.
What was the kid's name that they let walk?
I can't even think of his name. He plays at
McCord?
McCord. Yeah, Kyle McCord was.
He's at Syracuse.
Yeah, I know, but I think he's a New York kid, so that would make sense. He went home.
He's not better than Howard.
But literally, they told him, "You need to transfer. You're not going to play here next year."
Well, he
transferred, and then they went out and got Howard.
I mean, Will Howard he has a lot of experience.
I would say, how old is he?
He's a dual threat quarterback.
And he's probably not going to be the reason you lose a game.
I was like, and those Ohio State wide receivers are always wide open. So
yeah, McCord showed some I can lose a game for you if I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ohio State's in the predicament where they need they
Georgia.
Just do what we ask you to do. Yeah.
The Georgia predicament. They don't really need a guy that's that great.
Yep.
I mean, Stetson Bennett, if you throw him on the A&M roster, you think we're winning a national title? No. You would have got murdered.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing over there? All right.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
Go get a toilet paper roll, put some fabric softeners in there, tape one on and then put a rubber band with one on the end and blow the smoke through the toilet toilet paper roll. It stops the smell, stops the smoke. It works. I'm here all night. I can give you tips and tricks all night.
Did we want to mention anything else on Texas? We already talked about them enough. Oh, I did want to mention something on this. Texas won what, 52-0, 56-0, something like that.
Yes.
Radio shows in Austin, Texas are already calling for Arch Manning.
I told you.
That guy threw 6 passes, and they're already on team Arch is better than Quinn Ewers. And my favorite part is I was at dinner Saturday night, and they had, they got the TV on ESPN or whatever, and it's got the scroll at the bottom, and it says like Texas 52, Colorado State 0. And the only stat that ESPN put on the scroll was Arch Manning, 5 of 6, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. They didn't put Quinn. They didn't put Jadon Blue. Like, ESPN is fully in on Arch Manning is who we want right now.
Dude.
He came in there. He's 5 of 6, sure. Plenty of backup quarterbacks running the game. Throw a couple passes.
Oh, but he looks so good, though. I'll give you
really
this.
good.
He looks better than Quinn Ewers every time he steps on the field.
I didn't see it, but, Quinn Ewers was 20 of 27 for 3 touchdowns.
I'm just saying.
No, Quinn's good. Quinn's really good.
Quinn's really good.
Except Quinn really likes that sidearm throw, man.
Quinn really likes an unnecessary interception every game.
Yeah.
He's guaranteed an unnecessary interception.
He takes some gambles. He takes big shots. But
it has Garrett Gilbert 2.0 written all over it.
I'm just saying, is it possible that Texas has a top 5 quarterback in the NCAA?
No.
But he's not the starter.
No. This has Garrett Gilbert written all over it.
Oh, I disagree. I really do.
I disagree.
I think next year Arch Manning is going to be the guy.
Now, granted, I thought Garrett Gilbert coming out of high school was going to be.
Oh, and remember when he played in that title? Everyone said this dude's going to be the second coming of Christ, and then he was the quarterback at SMU the next year.
Well, yeah, he got screwed. Colt McCoy goes down in the national title game.
He comes off the bench,
and he killed it. He almost won the game.
Yeah, and then he ends up at SMU because Texas never forgave him for losing the game.
No, everyone got all excited the next year. He was terrible, and they won 5 games.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Arch is going to be bad, but
I think Arch is going to be really good.
I think Arch is going to be a superstar.
I love that people overreact, but I'm not an overreactor here. Let the kid play whatever they want to do.
No,
Same. Went out there, went 5 of 6, did what he did, and garbage time. There's plenty of basketball players that can.
Yeah, but Blake, he did that against Colorado State. That's a blue blood program. That is a program.
I'm still on team Arch is a fool for staying at Texas. He should be playing this year.
He should have transferred.
He should be playing somewhere this year. He could have been the quarterback at Ohio State, and Ohio State might.
He could have been the quarterback at Alabama.
Oh yeah,
probably.
He could have been at Alabama.
I think if he went and played at Ohio State, he would break every single.
Okay, Manning's not going outside of the SEC.
He would if he wants to just dominate. Where he would just be throwing it to wide receivers that are 20 yards wide open. Arch Manning would win the Heisman. They might not win the national championship, but he's going to break every Big Ten single season record.
Ohio State did reload on wide receiver. That is insane. Their wide receiver core is really good again.
That's what $20 million gets you.
I already saw that Arch Manning's odds to win the Heisman after beating Colorado State's number 1. He's got the best odds to win the Heisman.
Honestly,
Travis Hunter should win the Heisman.
Hold on. Hot take alert.
Yeah,
here.
I mean that.
If you could find somewhere that would give you the odds, Quinn Ewers has a really, really, really strong pattern of getting hurt really early in the season, and they're playing Michigan this week. If you could find odds on Arch Manning being the Heisman winner at plus 80,000 or something ridiculous, and you're just gambling on him getting hurt this weekend, it might be worth a little bit of a sprinkle of just hey, let me put $5 on this thing because it's it's $5. But if Arch Manning comes in week 2, goes to let's say Quinn gets hurt first quarter, He dominates that game, wins at the Big House, and then goes undefeated the rest of the season and beats Georgia at the beginning. I mean, like, that's a doable.
He's at plus. It's not good enough odds. He's at plus 12,500, plus 10,000.
Okay. I mean, that's still.
That's good money. No doubt.
That's not bad.
You're relying on a lot of stuff that go wrong.
Yeah, you are relying. I mean, it would have to happen. It would have to happen in the Michigan game. It would have to happen this week.
Because Cam Ward did too. As long as Cam Ward plays average, he's built up so much hype around himself. He's going to ride that wave till they're in New York in December.
Yeah.
Carson Beck's going to be on the best team, so it's going to be tough.
Look,
yeah, that's enough on Texas.
I've been waiting for this too. I don't think we're giving enough credit to Ole Miss. They beat a program in Furman that went 7-1 last year. 7-1. That overall 10-3. I mean, that's a program that you don't want to mess with.
If Shane wouldn't freaking step on the toes of the podcast, he would realize that we're talking about that very soon. But we're going in order of the ranking, which is why Alabama was next. But
sorry,
we can talk about Ole Miss.
I mean,
Jackson Dart already secured the Heisman on Saturday, so Blake's favorite player just going to throw it at that.
They had 20 points before the game even started.
I mean, yeah, they scored quick and a lot. Ole Miss is real good.
Yeah, they're going to be very good. I think
I'm very glad that Texas A&M does not have to play them this year.
Me too.
I can get Arch Manning for Heisman for plus 12,000.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, sorry, I had the smoke alarms going off again.
Is that good enough to get you to bet on it? I think it would have to be
$5 wins $600.
I think it'd have to be like plus 30,000 for me to be entertained by it.
Yeah, I think it's got to be at least 30,000.
I'm gonna put $2.50 to win 300 just in case.
Okay, that's fair.
Furman's ranked 15th in the FCS top 25.
Oh my God, leave it alone.
I'm just looking
at
Alabama. I'm just trying to make sure we're following.
I mean, while we're on Ole Miss, that's fine. I mean, they played Furman. There's not much to learn. I mean, their offense is going to be ridiculous.
I didn't even know that was a school.
I don't think we learned anything about their defense, but if their defense is even average, like, they're a sneaky contender for a national championship.
Oh, I agree, because they'll be able to score with anybody.
Yeah.
The question will be, can they stop anybody?
This is actually kind of funny. If you go to Furman's website, they're like, for the game on Saturday, they have like, oh, here's the highlights. There's 3 plays. That's their highlights.
Nice. All right.
Okay, I'm done.
Is Bama back? They got a guy who can snap the ball to the quarterback. Are they back now? Like, that's all they needed?
I think Bama wasn't ever going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be.
I don't know. They were a tough watch when they snapped it on the ground every time.
They look. Oh, you don't think they can compete for a national title?
No.
Wow, those are bold words. I don't
think they're in the SEC title game. I think they're the third team in, maybe in the SEC, but they're not going to win the national title.
Okay, so let's use our logic here. Not to bring it back to Colorado State, but is Colorado State not the same as Western Kentucky? How are we saying
it is? But I think Texas is all around a better team than Alabama.
It doesn't even matter. It's their schedules.
I do agree with that. Texas.
Yeah, but I don't think Alabama has a cakewalk of a schedule either.
No, Texas has a cakewalk of a schedule.
Hey, Texas does have to play Georgia, Alabama.
Georgia. No, they don't play Alabama.
Oh, they don't play Alabama.
They play Georgia and the seven teams on the bottom of the projected SEC standings.
Plus Oklahoma and us.
So they play
Texas is definitely going to be in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, and I think it's Georgia.
Even if they lose to Georgia.
Texas. I think it's Georgia-Texas rematch. And I think Georgia's still going to win. And then I think Alabama might be the third or maybe the fourth SEC team in. I still think Ole Miss has a chance to be better.
That September 28th date looms deep.
I'll say Alabama plays Georgia. Alabama and Georgia play each other.
Yeah.
And then Alabama also plays Tennessee,
They have a tough
Missouri, LSU, and Oklahoma. So
If Alabama gets out of that unscathed, then watch out. Golly, what is going on over there?
Dishes.
Oh, I thought someone just freaking.
We apologize to any of our listeners on Spotify. Yeah, for all of our audio listeners on Spotify, that's not great. But
you see all of our faces, we're all like, what just happened?
Well, Blake walked away. I was going to ask, Blake, do you think Alabama's playing for an SEC title?
I don't. But here's my only point. If we're we're overreacting to one game for each of these teams.
100%.
I'm on the side of
that's what we do week one.
Let's not overreact to one.
No, I'm on team Alabama's not making the national title. Sorry, the SEC title, but they're a team to watch out for the national title.
I would agree with that. I don't think the SEC title even matters anymore.
That's my thing. I don't think these teams give a flip about that.
I was like, because it could easily be Alabama. Well, I don't even know how the tiebreaker would work. Like, let's say that Texas and Alabama go undefeated, except for they both lose to Georgia. So Georgia's undefeated, and Texas and Alabama both have one loss.
It goes
Alabama would make the title game because their opponents would have a better record.
Yeah, that is correct.
We assume that the Kentuckys, the Vanderbilts are going to have a bad record.
Yeah, it would go to common opponent.
So here's my question.
So their common opponent would be Oklahoma.
So they would go to, if somebody lost Oklahoma, I think that's how it's going to go. I can't remember. There's a long list.
Yeah, but but they both beat Oklahoma. So
the last tiebreaker is a coin flip. I know that. We looked it up.
There's no way they're going to make it to coin flip.
I'm rooting for a coin flip, Austin. It needs to be in a gas station or a Waffle House off of a highway in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, Tupelo, Mississippi is where I'm at.
Tupelo, Mississippi. I'm with
here's my thing, and this is what I'm asking this seriously because I don't want to get this wrong. If you're the third best team in the SEC, wouldn't you prefer that over going to the SEC championship? Doesn't that mean you get a bye week before you go to the playoffs? Isn't that preferred?
I think if you have the aspiration, like if you have a realistic goal, or it's like realistic that you could win the national championship, you want to be out of the SEC title game. But if you're one of those schools that never wins if you're Ole Miss and you haven't won an SEC championship game in how many years?
Ever, I don't think.
Okay, then you want to be in it. But if you're Alabama or Georgia and like the option is I got to play one more week against a good team or I can sit at home.
Yeah, I'm sitting at home.
You want to sit at home. But if you're
the only reason I think they will not go for that is because they get a bye. If they win that game, they're definitely getting a bye in the
playoffs, which
because you have to win your the conference title to get the bye.
Correct.
So there's still some.
Even if you don't win it, you end up playing. So say you lose in the SEC title game, you're ending up playing the.
You're going to be number 6. You're going to be number 6. Yeah. Most likely number 6 or 5.
Yeah, you're going to end up playing the
Charlotte.
Power.
You're going to play the Charlotte 49ers.
Yeah, the Charlotte. Like you're playing nobody.
6.
Yeah, but then you still don't have a bye.
Yeah, but then your next game after that isn't. You're not playing. You're playing like
I would still rather get third place in the SEC and have a bye if I'm not going to win the SEC championship.
Yeah, but then you're the 10th seed. I mean,
if you're there is a world where you could get a bye. Say you're the 4th seed, you get a bye, and then next thing you know, your next game is against a really good 6th seed instead of like the 1st seed's not playing the 6th seed. They're going to play like a 9 seed.
I think your only scenario where you want to be the 3rd team in the SEC is if you already have 2 losses. You don't want to be the team that has 3 losses because then it is a possible risk that you don't make it. Like if there's a bunch of 2-loss SEC schools, but you just own the tiebreaker, and then you lose to Georgia, and it's kind of ugly, there is a chance. I don't think that it would be the right thing to do, but I think there is a chance that you get left out, or you get hosed.
I think there's a chance in other years. I don't think that could happen.
I'm just saying, like, let's say by some miracle, like Georgia's undefeated, Alabama, Texas A&M, Tennessee all have 2 losses at the end. Like there's a way there where
you don't want to play in the SEC championship.
No, I'm just saying you just don't want to get screwed by you playing Georgia and you just getting absolutely demolished to where they say, okay, like we're gonna
we've seen enough.
Or you make the playoffs, but you're the 12 seed somehow, and then you've got a really tough first game against the 5 seed, who is a good SEC school, and then if you win that game, you're rewarded by playing Georgia again.
Hey, but this year it's Notre Dame. I wouldn't mind being a 12 seed against Notre Dame.
That's true.
I think because of the first round buys, it keeps the importance of the SEC or the conference championship games.
Yeah.
If that doesn't exist, maybe Georgia doesn't give a care in the world if they're in that game or not. Or they get to that game and they play backups.
I could see the situation, though, in the future, and it could happen this year. I could see the Austin situation. I could see where it's like, I don't want to go to the SEC championship.
I could see that happening, but I think it's unlikely.
I think it's unlikely. I do see this year being like 3 or 4 SEC and 3 or 4 Big Ten schools.
That's going to be every year.
Every year, I think the Big 12 gets one.
The ACC is.
I would say, let's just do that. Let's do that quickly. The ACC is just they're dead.
They're dead. It's over.
Miami.
They have to find a way out of their TV contracts because that conference needs to go away like the Pac-12.
Did Mike Norvell sign an extension this offseason, past offseason?
I don't know.
I hope so for him. I hope for him he did.
I think he did. 1 minute.
Regardless, the ACC gets one team in.
The ACC gets whoever is their champion in. That's it.
Yes,
and there's a realistic outlook that it can be Georgia Tech.
The Big 12 gets whoever is their champion in, pretty much.
No, it's Miami. Miami's going to be the ACC champion.
Oh, don't sleep on Clemson.
So you have 9 teams between the SEC and the Big 10.
Yeah.
If you type in,
what about the Pac-12, bud?
Oh well, I forgot about them. They have 2 teams. They should make it.
The Pac-12 is the only conference that is undefeated,
as well as the only conference that's going to have one true champion.
That's true.
Is there a scenario in the future where we go?
Also, it won't be 9 teams because they'll get Notre Dame too, so it's 8 teams.
8 teams.
Is there a situation in the future where we go, it doesn't matter about your conference championship because what if there's a conference that is so god awful that it's like they don't even deserve it?
No, that's what I think should happen. I think it shouldn't be a automatic bid. I think it should be the best 4 teams are.
I'm okay with the Power 4 getting the champion in.
I'm with Jonathan. I think it should be the top 4 get the bye.
But it's so hard to tell the top 4 or whatever because they don't play the same teams. You're playing with the conference.
NCAA tournament, greatest event in sports. Every conference champion gets in, and crazy stuff happens.
Well, very different sport.
I agree. Yeah. Not saying it's going to happen in football because football is very different. Georgia will dominate.
Well, you also can't do that. Like you can't physically play that. You can't put 64 teams. 68 teams.
The top 4
there's too many games.
God, but it would be amazing if they did.
One team in is probably okay.
Yeah,
it would be amazing if they did.
Well, never mind.
And Mike Norvell did get a contract extension this summer because he was one of the candidates for Alabama, so they gave him $11 million a year.
That's right.
Which is also fair. He went 13-0 last year.
100%. But that's
on a third string quarterback, he went 13-0, which is
he's trying to do the exact opposite this year.
They're trying to find that buyout money currently.
I think he's going 0-13 on purpose. He's like, I'm gonna stick it to the man.
I'm gonna be the first one to do 13-0 and 0-13.
Well, if you can't make it going undefeated, might as well see if you can make it going defeated.
Be like 30-30 for Jameis Winston. But
the question is, did that guy eat the dog crap yet?
No.
Did it happen?
No.
He didn't eat it?
He posted something, I believe it said, like, I'm not doing it, fellas, leave me alone.
Jack Mack over at Barstool has been harassing that man. He got his phone number. He got his Snapchat.
That's uncalled for.
He said, bro, you got to do it. You said you would do it.
I mean, it would be so easy to fake, I feel like, is what he should do.
He should have said horse poo and just let it dry it out for a little bit. And
yeah, Shane eats those all the time.
It don't taste too bad. It's just grass.
I just don't get how you don't just like fake it with like a Hershey's bar or something.
Melt it, mold it around.
Yeah. I just feel like it was right there for him.
I feel like the internet would still go after him and be like, no, we need proof.
Well, now it's too late. Now if he does it, we all definitely know that it's fake. But
if he would have done it immediately.
If he would have done it right away, some little video editing that like I don't know.
But instead, the guy just deleted all his social media.
Did he? He deleted his social media.
America is alive. That's all.
He has eliminated him. He deleted him before the game was over. In the third quarter, he deleted it.
That's because you could tell what was about to happen.
Well, it's like I said in the group text. That stadium's empty. And then by the fourth quarter, that stadium was really empty.
What was up with that? Why was the whole upper deck just gone?
Dude, that was so bad. No upper deck. No,
Boston
not a single person.
Was taking them to school.
The home fans of Florida State should be really annoyed with their scheduling. Like, you play one in Ireland, that's annoying. Then you come back and you play one week one on a Monday night. That's awful.
Yeah.
On a holiday weekend.
We all know those kids at Florida State aren't going to class.
But like, just
it was a holiday, anyways.
Yeah, it's a holiday, but you got to go to work on Tuesday.
Okay, Blake, I understand your college experience was different than most people.
No, he's talking about adults, not
my point is normal fans. The whole point of college football is like the pageantry of it.
Yeah.
Playing in Ireland is none of that. Playing on a Monday night weekday game, like, that's lame too.
Yeah, we also know the people going to Florida State games don't have a job either. So
that's probably true. I've been to Tallahassee a couple times. Not a great city.
Wait, they're really screwed because now this is their bye week.
Yeah, so why not make the bye week week one?
Dude, that's hilarious. They have a bye week after going to 0-2.
That's terrible.
Hey, actually, it's a perfectly timed bye week. They need a bye week right now. They need it.
Who do they play next, Shane?
Week 3, they're gonna play.
Please say Clemson.
They're gonna play.
Please say Miami.
No, it's not.
Where are they? I'm in the.
They play Memphis.
Oh yeah, Memphis. Yep.
Oh, man, come on, Memphis.
They got Memphis, Cal, and SMU.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, but still, a week 2 bye. That's terrible.
They don't win.
Well, they get 3 byes because they played week 0. And
do they?
They get 3 bye weeks.
Okay.
Makes sense, but you could tie. I think if you play week 0, you just don't play week 1 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's start wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up. We got games, brother. LSU, USC.
We're getting there. That's why I said we got to start wrapping it up. We got a lot of games to get through.
That game was electric.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, as someone
game was though
really, really hoping for the over to hit, and just it didn't. It
wasn't in college football anymore. Overs.
Yeah, overs are dead.
You can't bet overs in week 1, guys.
No, college football in general.
I can because I've watched USC defense for so many years. I figured it was going to be that bad.
Yeah, but offenses just aren't on all cylinders in week 1.
Also, the other problem with it is betting the overs is I don't even think the officials know the clock rules. You watch 3 different games at the same time. They start the play clock at different times.
Florida State has 2 minutes in the first half, I believe.
It's It's actually really fun that Jonathan said that, because in week 1 of like professional football, bet the over on everything,
Yeah.
because the defenses are the ones that don't have it figured out.
I don't have
like,
it figured out.
But like in college football, it's like, hey, we can't figure out how to pass a football yet. We only threw for 100 yards and 2 picks.
You literally, I mean, it's true though. Like college football, you literally look around the country and
Yeah.
you're like, when it's competition.
Let me tell you,
it
easiest bet of my life was Northwestern versus Duke over under 56.5. Easiest bet of my life that Malik Murphy for Duke was going to hit the under.
What did that score end up being, like 13 to
Like
6?
13 to 10? I don't know. It was terrible.
Vegas is going to have to start adjusting their over-unders, though. They haven't. I
guarantee you they're going to figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah, they'll
pretty quick.
Can I make a gripe with college football real quick?
Yeah.
Texas A&M in 2014 or 2015, we underwent like the largest stadium renovation in history.
Right?
We were done by the time, or we did it in phases so that the thing would be done by the time the season rolled around. Vanderbilt is playing on a field where construction workers are standing in the end zone. Texas did it last year. I believe there were construction workers in the end zones last year or the year before.
There was a bobcat in the south end zone.
And Northwestern now there's a uterus in the south end zone. And Northwestern is playing in a field that was meant for soccer, I believe. But
the Northwestern one is cool. The Northwestern one is cool. It's a small enough school, and they're right there on the lake that it's like a beautiful stadium.
Oh, it is. But the only stands are in the end zones. It's the weird.
One whole side is stands.
The side stands are small. The end zones are long.
We looked it up. It only sits like 6,000 people or some crazy number like that.
How many people are going to go to a Northwestern game in the first place?
Not many.
Yeah, but like that's smaller than most Texas.
But my complaint is Texas A&M did the biggest stadium renovation in history.
They blew up a whole side of a stadium.
How big could Northwestern stadium renovation be? That they're having to play on a temporary field.
Yeah, but they don't have all of those students who are majoring in like construction science.
No. That's not the problem.
They've got all the lawyers up there who are just sitting there playing with the red tape.
Look at that.
I may get in trouble for this one.
I like their stadium for Northwestern. It's a cool environment.
Austin may not like this, but it ain't about the engineers. They ain't got them Mexicans up there.
I didn't say it was the engineers. I said it's all the people in construction science.
They ain't got them Mexicans.
Those are not the engineers.
They ain't got them Mexicans up there.
Well, that was something I was thinking about when I'm watching construction people catch the field goals.
Look, also Northwestern.
Pablo's over there.
I know he's getting a free show.
Northwestern, if you're watching this, me and Shane, we'll bring Juan and Jose. We'll have it done in a week. No problem.
The University of Texas could have used it a couple years ago too.
Yeah, can we go back to the uterus real fast?
I don't know where Northwestern. I don't know where Northwestern is.
Chicago.
It's Chicago.
Oh well, they don't care if you got papers or not. I got some good working illegals that'll come and
yes, sir.
You will have this sucker done.
They'll bring their own lunch. They got their grills, little tortillas.
Hey,
Modelo's
point or whatever, but
watch out for your daughters.
UT is in the South, and the uterus is not centered.
Oh, exactly. It's crazy.
It's not centered. It's off. It drives me insane.
That's because they had some gay boy as their engineer designing it.
Why'd they do that?
He don't know how to see straight.
That or just like it's either it's not centered. I've been in the stadium, but can we like put the camera to where it looks like it's centered? Like we could do a little camera magic to where it looks centered.
You think someone got fired for that when it was all said and done?
Here's what I think, honestly. Some dude in a boardroom before they started doing that was like, "Oh, you'll never guess the idea I have. What if we put a Longhorn in the end zone stands?" And all those dummies were like, "Dude, branding, that's awesome." Then they actually did it, and they walked up top, and they were like, "What the heck did we just do?"
I had a friend who went to A&M who was his company was doing the lighting, and he was just so tempted, just maroon lights everywhere.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been great.
I was like, oh man, you would get sued so hard, but like it'd be worth it.
Dude, that sucker's not even close to centered.
No, it's not. It's bad.
It's well off center.
It's very well off. That or the field goal post is not centered. One of the two.
Even on the
photo.
the jumbotron is like way off to the right of it.
Trying to find a good photo of it.
That's what I'm telling you. They had some gay boy that ain't
Oh,
seen
wow.
straight.
You didn't have to double down, Shane. Like we just let it slide the first time, and you're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna double down. Here we go.
We're gonna say it again.
I'm just saying. I mean,
All right, to get Shane off of that topic.
One more time, Shane.
There were 3 teams.
They had a gay boy. He ain't seen straight since 2008, and he couldn't. He tried to chop his wee off, but he missed wide left.
Even in the renderings, it's not centered.
There were 3 good teams that did not look good this weekend. They were Oregon, Michigan, and I put in this Notre Dame did not look good either because their offense looked pathetic, which our offense also looked pathetic. But
it was definitely a battle of the offense.
But Notre Dame is going to be in the top 5 for the whole season because they play 0 teams.
Yep.
Actually, they lost one of their ranked teams on their schedule this week because Florida State's not ranked anymore.
The only team they have now is USC, I believe, right?
Yeah, who will also, by the time that they play,
Not
Notre
be
Dame will also not be ranked. Also, A&M, pretty good chance, not going to be ranked. So
Not
they're going to – it's a chance that Notre Dame is going to make the playoff without playing a single ranked team a single team that is ranked at the end of the year.
Yes, which they'll be like, well, they beat a ranked team when they played them. It's like, who cares if they're ranked when they played them?
A&M is not ranked.
Hey, explain that to
fell
me
out this
also.
week.
I'm saying by the end of the season, Jonathan, we might.
No, I know,
still
but
not
we
be
fell
ranked.
out this week too.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were 20 and we lost.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. I mean, we just don't deserve to be ranked after that performance. Don't get me wrong. But Clemson lost to the number 1 team in the nation, and they only dropped like 2 spots.
No,
I mean,
they went to 25.
They're 25.
They dropped
Oh,
11 spots.
I thought I saw something else.
Michigan only dropping to 10 is criminal. And the only reason why they did it is so that Texas can say that they beat a top 10 team this week.
Yeah, probably.
Guaranteed. There is no reason why you only score 23 points against Fresno State at home and you should still be a top 10 team.
The only other crazy thing about the rankings was Boston College jumped up to 20. I think they're 27th, right behind us. But I'm like, okay, we've seen that Florida State team play. They're not good.
They are bad.
They beat them, but they're not good. So why are we jumping up everybody?
Man, my boy DJ Uga or whatever his name is.
Dude, it's terrible.
That throw in the third quarter, that
Corner.
back of the end zone, that wide receiver, there's no one around him, and he missed him by a mile.
Dude, he doesn't even throw a pretty ball. He throws a duck every time.
I actually think his throwing motion has gotten worse over time.
It's possible.
I saw the funniest tweet yesterday. It was like, yeah, DJ, in your 5th year, you're going to throw it something. But he said like the touch of a jackhammer. He
might be one of those people that needs to be investigated for sports gambling.
Yeah.
He might be tanking.
Wide open guys. He's throwing like
Notre Dame game.
3 feet short.
I hope he's investing that NIL money. That's all.
Ironically, him playing well kept us out of the playoff in 2020.
Yeah, there you go. Are we concerned about Oregon at all, or was it just a fluke that they couldn't get in the end zone?
I think it was
if you look at the stats from that game, there's no reason that they scored that few points.
And Idaho State or whatever, they only scored. It was like on 2 like crazy trick plays.
Well, I'm not really worried about Idaho scoring. I was more concerned with the fact that Oregon. I mean, Dylan Gabriel had like a 85% completion rating for 380 yards, and they scored like 21 points.
Yeah, they had I think there was a turnover inside the 5-yard line. There was 2 other things.
Look, Dan Lanning's going to get them right. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that was fluky. That's why I say don't overreact week 1 because that was fluky.
That's fair, but at the same time,
there's some teams you can't overreact to.
At the same time, you got to ask the questions. Like, can Oregon beat an Ohio State?
My concern with Oregon is more so I think they're going to be a good team, but they're used to playing a completely different style of football than they're going to be asked to play week after week.
That you tell me they're not going to enjoy playing Wisconsin?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be you go from playing USC in beautiful LA to let me play Wisconsin at 8 a.m. local time.
Yeah.
Also, totally different style quarterback.
What?
Like, he's not as good as Bo Nix was, and he's not as good as.
I mean, Bo Nix is like a 6-year starter.
Yeah,
Angel is too. He's got to be fifth at least.
Yeah, he's got to be fit. Did you see the NCAA is considering giving all college athletes 5 years of eligibility now?
So dumb. Stop. I'm tired of.
They're looking at 5 years.
Miami has a touchdown this year. 9 years. That's dumb.
College football in 9 years. He has a touchdown in 2018.
9 years.
From Oregon.
I hate it. It's got to stop.
He started.
What? He ain't gonna have to pay for that college education either.
No.
You know what?
Dude, that man was playing ball before NIL.
I was saying
2 years.
I want to go. I was
talking about his student loan being forgiven.
That guy's got a doctorate at this point.
I just want to say, I want to go the other way because of NIL. I don't want you to be able to redshirt anymore. You get 4 years. That's it. When you're on campus, you get 4 years. That's it.
I agree with that because it's gotten out of control. And if you're getting paid, you get paid 4 years.
You're getting paid, and guess what?
Make it work 4 years.
If you can't make it to the pros by your 4th year, sorry, bud.
I don't know. I kind of like the 9-year story.
That dude is a grown man. Get a job, brother.
The story is he's a dummy. That's the only story.
No, he had 4 years where he was completely out. He was hurt.
Okay, well that's how the cookie crumbles.
I understand that, but like, if you wanted to play, say if it was you, and you're like, man, I can still play.
I'd like to think John Stajkowski raised me better than to think that I'm just supposed to be given stuff because my feelings tell me that I deserve it.
I mean,
guys, we all know where this is coming from. Jonathan is still hoping that he's got some eligibility left that he could go back and slick the pigskin a little bit.
I like beer too much.
Isn't there a player at Oklahoma State this year that's like 29 or 30?
Oh, UT was notorious for taking, like, they had, like, I remember 10 years ago, they had, like, a 32-year-old freshman.
Quan Cosby played there one time, and he was about 40.
UT had a, like, 32-year-old freshman that had served, like, 6 years in the military. And
that's a deep snapper?
Yeah, he was a deep snapper. He just walked on, and they were like, yeah, we'll take you.
Hey, I'll give you that one. I will concede that one. You serve time.
I think there's a lot of guys in the military that should really consider going playing college football after they get out. Them boys, some of them boys are fucking crazy big.
It'll look like BYU's team.
Because they've got all them steroids in them, and then by the time they get to college, they can get all that out of their system, and they just stay healthy.
Why can't we just go back to the 4 years? You get 4 years.
You get 4 years.
What do you need? I love y'all. I'm gonna burst your bubble. We're never going back. This is the way it is. It's just gonna get worse at this point. It's not getting any better. At some point,
the only reason why we left the 4 years is because of COVID. COVID's like it's over. You don't need.
No, I saw a lady at Costco with a mask on. I just
mean it's not. It's over to where we are shutting down the country for it.
I don't know. I saw some people calling for lockdown. So Tim Walz were locked down again. I'll tell you that.
They want lockdowns.
If we got to see Dr. Fauci throw out a first pitch again, lock it down.
Lock it down.
If that happens, let's go ahead and lock down.
Lock him down.
Lock down for the year on that one.
Hey, I know that we talked about LSU, USC for a second, but can we talk about how egregious LSU's discipline is? The amount of unsportsmanlike conducts they got was insane. He pretended to shoot a guy.
Yeah.
It lost him the game.
He's got moxie, dude. That's the guy I want on my team.
He put that shotgun right in that kid's face.
So they throw the flag, and Harley's like, "Well, what they throw a flag for?" And they show his dance, and I thought they got him with the pelvic thrust. I was like, oh, you can't be humping the air.
Only 3 times. Only 3.
I was like, you can't be humping the air anymore. Like, that's against the rules. But then they show him walk over to right in that kid's face, boom. And I was like, never mind.
No, the best part is him on the sideline.
Yeah. He's like, what showing his teammates, like, this is all I did.
Hey, you can if that doesn't describe Louisiana, you can take the player out of the streets, but you can't take the streets out of the player, baby.
Well, I told Harley, I was like, to be fair, if the guy wasn't playing football, he'd probably be actually shooting people like that. Yeah. So
you'd be able to see him at the prison rodeo down there in Louisiana in 5 years.
That's so funny.
He was legit shocked that they threw a flag at that.
What, you didn't know?
Did y'all see Brian Kelly at his press conference?
Yeah, he said it's the first time he's ever been mad at a football team.
Dude has unbelievable restraint, not just be cursing during that whole thing.
They got flags. I've never seen so many just blatant, like just ridiculous unsportsmanlike conducts.
If I was Brian Kelly, I would have just laid on my back on the sideline and been like, what do I have to do?
The only team that I think
Notre Dame.
The only team that I think that can compete with the amount of not discipline is Colorado. Colorado just throws late hits like crazy. They dance all over the place. They act like idiots. LSU was like, I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to pretend to shoot a guy.
Well, Brian Kelly's used to getting all them Catholic kids that can get into Notre Dame, and then he ended up at LSU. Was like, we get whoever here.
He was like, I can't even talk to this kid. He's Cajun. I don't understand what he's fucking saying.
He's my family.
My family.
There's going to be a new documentary. It's not going to be Catholics and convicts, Miami and Notre Dame. It's going to be Catholics and convicts, Brian Kelly from Notre Dame to LSU.
Catholics to convicts.
Yeah.
He's like sitting in his office just like this. What do I do? What do I do?
Seriously, that's one of those things. It's like kids are just dumb sometimes. Like,
yeah.
It's not the coach's fault, I don't think. It's just kids are dumb sometimes.
To be fair, I wish we were like this massive podcast that athletes listen to, because I would want to try to start a trend and being like, I will pay NIL money to players to go up and do that celebration every game and get a flag. Just get a flag. I'll pay your NIL.
The best part is there was only one player on that field that deserved to over-celebrate, and it's freaking Kyron Hudson, who had 2 of the greatest catches that you will ever see.
Dude.
I'm just like the second one too. He gets blown up and just holds on to it. I'm just like, good for you.
Was the first one the one like kind of like the Odell?
Yeah, the first one was the Odell like one, but the other one was also one-handed, and then he just got popped.
I don't know how
he just held on.
Second one, I don't even know how he held on to it.
And he's a freshman, ain't he?
I don't know.
There's Alabama. That kid's 17, bro.
17 years old. Dylan Williams or whatever. 17 years old.
Holy shit! He's supposed to be in high school.
My boy could run. He could run. He was just blowing by guys.
I mean, USC's running back, that was Reggie Bush. Like that dude was a monster.
All right, let's not.
Hey, that Reggie Bush commercial, him coming out of the freezer.
What did I miss?
Snaps for that one.
That one and the Dr. Pepper commercial with Quinn Ewers saying, I don't need backup. That was great. Fantastic, baby.
And you know what? I love it because I'm dressed like a hipster director right now, so I can say that that's cinema. That was some cinema.
He said, I don't need backup, even if he has great hair and famous family members.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, that's good. Miami's good, huh?
Miami's good.
Hey, Cam Ward might.
Dog. That man's a dog.
He's gonna end up number 1 draft pick, and he's gonna get some GM fired.
He ain't gonna be good
I'm not
in the
saying
NFL.
he's gonna be good in the NFL, but
he ain't gonna be
he's not gonna win the Heisman either.
Oh, they had all the NFL GMs talking about. They were writing articles about NFL GMs are saying this about Cam Ward after this one game. I was like, he's gonna get several GMs fired potentially.
You know who else is good? Sneaky good? Iowa.
Yeah, the guy
okay.
Oregon's offense.
Iowa has an offense. Watch
40
out.
points.
And Kirk Ferentz wasn't even coaching.
Nope.
Maybe that was the problem. Maybe Kirk's the problem.
Well, he's back next week, so we'll find out.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's gonna ruin my.
Yeah.
He said he was sitting at home watching the game, going, "Why are we scoring so much? What are we doing? Why are we throwing the ball?"
He's literally like, "Why didn't I try this?"
Yeah, he's like, "Shit, I had to fire my son."
Hey, I will. Hey, this is way backpedaling, but we did not give any love to this, and we are a kicking show. Our punter, that guy.
Also, our kicker.
I want to specify that y'all are a kicking show. I am the odd man out. I think we should get rid of kicking.
Hey, several times that punter saved our butts.
Yeah,
Several times.
Jonathan, how can the
I'm not
dude?
a
I
kicker.
swear he had an 85-yard punt once.
He had a 65.
No, I will agree. A&M's kickers, they saved us a little bit.
Give
because
that
they
guy
couldn't
the
be
Ray
mad.
Guy Award or
We
whatever.
might be punter you. We might be punter you.
We might be.
We do get wait, our punters are
Shane Leckler, Braden Mann,
yes.
Shane Tripucci kind of. Drew Kaiser. Drew Kaiser was electric.
Drew Kaiser was electric in college for sure.
College, but he got drafted, I think.
Drew Kaiser for Heisman, baby. I remember those days.
And then
Man-
we got this guy.
Man was the only kicker that I was like, I like this kid.
You know it's real bad when your school has a petition for you to win the Heisman Trophy. That's how bad our football team was at the time.
That's how bad Iowa was last year. Iowa was that punter. They was giving the Heisman.
This is gonna be my new favorite football tradition. Is the guys that show up to the Iowa football game in the sweatshirts that just say punts. That's all it says. It's just punts. That's great.
If they ever
But
get a good
they're going to be sorely disappointed because they're scoring 40 points now.
Well, Kirk Ferentz back on the sideline. They're going to be running power.
Punts. I do want to make podcast shirts to say run the fucking ball.
that exists already, I think.
So run the damn ball is on hats.
Well, we got to find a new shirt because my Fire Bimbo shirt don't really work no more.
Yeah,
Well, if I know
we
you
got-
well enough, you'll have a fire something shirt by the end of this.
That's just funny.
I'm sure we'll
Chop
come up
his
with something
weg.
catchy.
Maybe one that says chop his weg.
No,
Chop weg.
no.
The O's the Mentalist segment, he was talking a little crazy.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
was like, that's how our
maybe-
quarterback talks? Nah, bro.
Oh yeah, no. When he talks, I don't like it.
Bruh.
I don't like when he talks.
I was like, what? That's what our quarterback talks like? Lord
maybe
have mercy.
there's some. I half expected him to talk like, "Yes, sir, I would love to."
That's what I thought too, but he was literally like, bro, nah, bro, don't play like
No kid nowadays talks like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, no, that's just not how the youths talk anymore, dude.
Apparently, I didn't know that.
Well,
You'll learn sooner. You'll learn soon enough, Shane. I know that your children go to public school or private school, but they'll probably learn that there too.
No, trust me, I ain't too concerned with that.
Shane's got them in private school. They'll be like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
Yeah,
No, they
my-
won't.
My
They're going to be like, give me what I want right now.
No, my kids get sorry, police or whoever. If my kids don't say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, they get their butts whipped. I got a spoon sitting over my fridge with holes in it. Yes, I whip my children. Come get me.
Well,
Come
I
get
got great news for you, Shane. We are over an hour and a half into this podcast. No one is listening.
I'm not talking about making America great again. I'm talking about making ass whippings great again. That's about it.
Bring back spanking in school. Let
Well,
Mr. Williamson.
let's not do that.
let Mr. Williamson give some whiffs.
No, thank you.
No, because then Austin will end up in prison. He's a high
Yeah.
school teacher. We don't need
Also,
that.
I don't want to whip other people's children.
You just want them to whip their children.
Sometimes, no, not as high schoolers. That's too old. You don't need to whip your high schoolers.
Yeah, you're right. Close fist to the jaw for high
If Austin
schoolers.
tried to do that, they would literally look at him and say, nah, bro, don't play
Nah,
like
bro.
that.
Nah,
bruh.
fam.
Don't
You're
play
not
like
made like that.
Look,
Yeah,
they ain't built like us. You know, we was
There are plenty of my students could whoop my butt every single day of the week.
we
Like
was terrorizing
without standing a chance.
SROs.
Yeah,
I'm-
kids nowadays, if you brought back spanking in school, kids nowadays swing back at you. There ain't no way.
I'm not trying to.
I saw a teacher literally get the heck beat out of her.
Oh, dude,
Over
I
that-
see it all the time on Twitter.
That kid, he got sentenced to like 6 years in jail. And of course, his mom was like, "He's not a bad kid. He's just misunderstood." He just beat the heck out of his teacher.
Well, I mean, Blake, every single like murderer ever, they'll interview their neighbor and they'll be like, I never would have seen it coming.
Never would have seen it coming.
Never would have seen it coming.
Have
He
you
was such a
ever
nice
watched-
guy.
Have you watched Dateline? Everyone that gets murdered in Dateline, they was a happy person that life of the party. Why do you think I don't go to parties? Because the life of the party always gets murdered. So let's not do that.
Says the guy until he had kids was the life of party at every party anywhere he could find a party.
Yeah, well, I mean, things change, but you know,
I'm trying to see if there was any other good games.
there's just
There wasn't. We started talking about people getting murdered and what high schoolers are like. So that's probably the point where we wrap it up.
Bill O'Brien,
Fine.
good.
I mean,
I kind of like watching him on the sideline.
I enjoyed it.
he's
I
at
enjoyed
Boston
it.
College, so he's not going to make that big of waves.
He'll go 4-8.
No, did you hear Lewis Riddick though? Wasn't Lewis Riddick on the call? He's like, "Oh, Bill O'Brien's trying to build this program into a blue blood," and I'm like, "Dude, it's Boston College. He's not building this into nothing. He's making a couple $1 million and enjoying life. That's what he's
No,
doing."
he's just trying to get the next big job. That's what he's trying. He's trying to build his career
next
back.
big job. You do what Elko did. You go to a smaller school. You do well. You get a head coach and go somewhere else.
You can still at Boston College for the rest of your existence and make $2 million, $3 million a year.
Yeah,
Probably just stick it
I mean, if you could be, I mean,
I would do that if Boston College. If you would like to pay me $2 to $3 million a year, I will come and coach your head football team for the rest of my life. Until I die on the sideline, I will coach your team.
I'll sign a lifetime contract. I can't get
Boston College, like,
it's a perfect scenario.
I
There's
will
no
even
expectation.
sacrifice and live in Boston.
Yeah, there's no expectation. If you beat Florida, he just got himself a 10-year extension for beating Florida State, even though they stink. But you know, there's no whatever. If you lose every game but 2 a year, next year we got him.
he didn't just beat Florida State. He whooped Florida State.
That is true.
Yeah.
He whooped Florida State. Not even a competitive game.
All right, let's talk gambling.
Oh,
Wait, before we do that, how was your draft, Jonathan?
Well, see, I took the dogs out.
Oh,
I got my phone sitting there,
auto drafted.
but it was all right. I need to
Hey,
do some work.
I
on
won
it.
my league last year off auto draft.
That's embarrassing.
The biggest
Your league is
question mark is tight end and quarterback.
Well, one of those is pretty important.
I mean, Jordan Love is who I ended up auto drafting.
Quarterback, you can get whoever.
I'm not opposed to it because after the top 3 quarterbacks, they're all the same.
I think the only person that would make a difference is Lamar because he's going to run.
Yeah.
And Johnny sure as heck ain't drafted.
I ain't drafting Lamar. I got a text from my buddy in this league, and he said, Lamar's going to kill you this year. And I said, Lamar sucks.
Jordan Love is fine.
I like Jordan Love. It's fine.
I took back in Jordan Love.
Tight end, I waited a little long, and I ended up just taking Brock Bowers, hoping Las Vegas has to just dump the ball down to him all the time.
Tight end can be important.
And then commit.
What, quarterback is going to average you, 12, 15 points a game?
No, like 25, 30. Oh, well, no, this league's different. He's projected to score 55 points this week.
55?
But Jalen Hurst is projected to score 60.
I already hate Jonathan's fantasy football league more than any fantasy football league I've ever seen before.
Point per completion?
In the leag I used to play in, if my quarterback scored 55 points, I'm like, that's a W.
If in every fantasy football league I've played if your quarterback scored 55 points, they had 6 rushing touchdowns. Like, it was just not possible.
It's how? That doesn't make sense.
Even Jamal Charles's 5 touchdown game against the Oakland Raiders back in the day was only 52 points on like your standard. He had like 200 something yards and 5 touchdowns.
So
I
pass
saw
completions.
somebody had a league where if your quarterback gets a tackle, you get 100 points.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, I like that.
Pass that's throwing the most interceptions.
See, it's not even a PPR. It's point 25.
It was just everyone just wanted Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Jameis
point 25 for completion.
Hey, what's going on with Jameis? Has he got traded or anything?
Nice in Cleveland still.
Yeah, he's in Cleveland.
He's a backup in Cleveland.
They said that they were shopping him.
He's waiting for the sexual predator to get in trouble.
Alleged
sexual predator.
Alleged. I mean, you called Dabo Sweeney 3 weeks ago a sexual predator, right?
He looks like one.
He loves the Lord too much. How dare you?
Yeah, I saw the tweet. They were like,
he looks like one is not an answer.
He
like
trusted the Lord to save him from the transfer portal.
I've seen a lot of Catholic priests that love the Lord.
That's true. They said, Dabo, you only got 3 points. What happened? He said, yeah, but they're the most important. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, no. If you haven't looked up the memes, the religious memes from Dabo this week, they were great. The religious memes from Dabo were just amazing. They're on point.
I hate Dabo.
I need to look at gambling.
We're going to talk gambling stuff now. So for those of you who are also holier than us, this will be a great time. We'll see you next week. But we're going to wrap it up with some gambling things. Shane, our previous winner, he's doing it again, everybody. He's going to start slow. He's going to be in last place the whole time, and all of a sudden he's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to get hot at the right time, and he's going to win because Shane did not win a single bet last weekend, which is unfortunate for him. But this is the weekend maybe where he gets on a run, and I can already tell you I'm looking at a couple of his wagers, and I'd like them to win.
What do you always say, Austin?
You either hot or you're due, baby. No, actually, I had a not on the podcast things, but I actually had a pretty decent week in the gambling streets until the USC LSU over did not hit, but still positive both weeks.
How'd we do on public bets last week as a pod?
As a pod, we went 5-5 and a push, so we went average, right on.
Wait, did I push?
No, Shane pushed. We already have a push on the first freaking weekend, and it was a lucky push too.
It sure
was.
UNC
should not have covered or pushed that game, but whatever. So Shane is in last place. He went 0-2-1. What a surprise! Villanova minus 9.5 did not hit. I really do think that Shane thought it was basketball, but whatever. Jonathan only went 1-2 because he decided to bet with A&M and Colorado. He went hype boy, and it didn't work.
Not doing that again.
And Blake and I both went 2-1. Our only loss was West Virginia. We both lost West Virginia, which we didn't talk about Penn State today because I hate Penn State. But I will say, good on them. Everyone, that was the game that everyone in the world was like, they're not going to win or they're not going to cover, and they just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Look, the one thing about gambling is you got to learn from your past mistakes. I'll tell you one thing: I will never again bet against the Youngstown Penguins.
Oh yeah, Youngstown State, baby, you got to watch out.
That's a football.
They got a penguin with a scarf on it.
That's a football team.
That's one cold son of a gun over there. All right, Shane, let's hear how you have learned from your mistakes. Which 3 teams are you picking this week?
This has nothing to do with what I think about Texas, but I think I will take Michigan plus 7.5 against Texas because it's in Michigan. I don't think Michigan's a good football team either, but I just think
overreaction. That's overreaction.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of points for.
And Michigan's defense is pretty good.
Yeah, they're always going to have a good defense.
And they can run they're going to run the ball.
They actually did not run the ball as well as I thought.
Did not run the ball well.
Texas didn't stop the run that great either. For a team that gave up 0 points.
Yeah, it's like they did give up 0 points.
They played.
Texas did lose their 2 defensive tackles from last season,
which
that
I think
were both amazing.
Play a part in some game this year.
We will see. It'll be an interesting scenario.
Yeah, I just think 7.5 is a lot of points, and then I'm going to take Kentucky -10 against South Carolina because that South Carolina team.
You're not looking at basketball scores again, are you?
I don't care. Kentucky could be.
Shane's strategy is he's gonna pick college basketball blue bloods every week. He's just gonna keep next week. Well, you picked North Carolina last time too. So.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And that worked out great.
I can't wait to see that you pick Duke next week.
And then I don't know anything about these two teams other than I feel obligated to gamble on them, and I'm going to take the UTSA Roadrunners +1.5 against the Texas State Bobcats.
The Meeps.
Yep.
All right. I hope that your fortunes turn around after last week.
Look, I mean, that dude with the goggles, I was really looking forward to watching him play, but I mean, Kentucky could be 30-point underdogs, and I might take them, or 30-point favorites, and I might take them against the spread on
All
that.
right. Let's see, Jonathan, you're in second to last place, so we'll have you go next, I guess.
All right, I'm going against Shane here. I'm taking Texas 7.5.
I'm tempted to see where that ends up, but at the end of the week,
dangerous, Jonathan.
I might bet Texas up to 9.5.
That's a 14-point game, easy.
I might bet by Friday. I might see where that number is at and get some alternate odds and put it all on Texas. Just to see, you know what? Let's see if they really worth all their talk. I'm gonna put the money where the mouth is.
All right, I'm betting 2 NFL games this week.
Oh, all right, that's a bold strategy.
I'm taking Kansas City -3.
That's a really bold strategy.
I knew. I almost took that. And I'll some comment if I take that.
All right, but have y'all studied the Chiefs at their first game of the season?
My God, I had that script in my head. I was like, he's gonna say that the Chiefs stink in the first game of the season.
No. It's not that they stink. I'm not saying that they're gonna lose. They never cover. They never covered. The only time recently that they covered the first week of the season was when they beat the Arizona Cardinals 44-0.
Baltimore scares me at the beginning of the season too because they have the ability to make crazy stuff happen.
And it's just
you just run the clock out.
It's banner night. We lost banner night last year to Detroit. They're still gonna be partying.
The Chiefs aren't great against the spread in week 12.
The Chiefs just aren't a good team against the spread in general. But I will give you this: if you're betting the NFL in week 1, historically, just pick whoever you think is going to win the game. Yes. Usually in week 1, whoever wins the game covers every single time.
Exactly. Plus, spreads are within a field goal usually, so it's
So the spreads are usually nice and tight. Yeah. And if you think that a favorite is going to win the game, go ahead and bet them against the spread because odds are they are going to win.
Jonathan's partly doing this just because it's the Ravens.
I mean, the Chiefs could easily beat the Ravens by 3 points.
I agree.
Jonathan doesn't give a flip about the Ravens. He cares about Lamar Jackson.
No, but I mean, the Ravens also, they lost a lot. They lost a lot of their offensive line. They lost a lot of their defensive line. The Ravens have some possible issues going into the season for sure.
Is John Harbaugh going to hire Connor Stallions though?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I'm taking the Raiders to beat the Chargers +3, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Wait, now my question is, are you taking them money line as well, or are you just the +3? Not obviously for the bet.
No, I would take a money line. We're winning this game, baby. We're winning this game. Just win, baby. Come on.
There you go.
Come on.
Okay. Once again, Blake and I have the same bet. And it didn't hit last time, so I apologize, Blake. But I'm going down to the Cy-Hawk. I'm taking the Iowa Hawkeyes -2.5. They got a freaking offense now. Cade McNamara. They got the coach coming back. I don't know if that's a good omen or a bad omen, but it's at Iowa. It's a rivalry game. Also, it was -3 all week, and it dipped down to -2.5 today. So if you're going to give me the I'm going to take it. I'll take the bait on that one. I am going. We're going with it. These boys can play. The Nevada Wolfpack +1.5 at home. I like them this week, and then I will take my one NFL bet. I think that the Dolphins -3.5. They're just gonna Mike McDaniel on his new contract is gonna try to put up 70 points, and
yeah, I like that one too. I was too nervous to take it.
I don't like Jacksonville, so I'm just I don't know. Trevor Lawrence has not impressed me ever in the NFL. So,
all right, I'm taking Iowa -2.5. They have an offense. I believe it can be done. Matt Campbell should have taken the job 4 years ago, and he didn't. He's going to get fired. Green Bay +2.5. Jordan Love, come on, give it to him. Houston -3. Houston Texans.
Yeah. Oh, hey, sorry, we're not talking about NFL things this week, but quick NFL aside, because Blake brought up the Packers-Eagles game. There is no Twitter in Brazil now, so like, is there just going to be like no fun clips on Twitter Friday night during the game?
I was because none of the reporters can access, but I think they can use a VPN supposedly.
Okay,
but still, much less for sure.
I don't think they'll be having any fun anyhow. I think
we shouldn't be playing the game in Brazil anyways. They don't even let the players leave their hotel.
Yeah. Well,
everyone's butthole's going to be so clenched up you wouldn't be able to fit a grease BB in.
All offseason, they were like, we're not even going to let either team wear green. But obviously the Packers are wearing green, so it's fine. But
just seems like a dumb place to have an NFL game if it's like it's so dangerous the players can't leave their hotel.
We're expanding the brand.
Do we want to expand to a place that the teams can't leave their hotel?
No.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
I mean, Philadelphia, like you can't leave your hotel either, but they're just.
Well, I mean, what are we gonna say? Ricky Pearsall got freaking shot this week, so
you're right.
That's true.
San Francisco, I guess we gotta make a move.
Yeah, we should.
That's trying to freaking robbery.
Also, Kamala's
San Francisco.
Decision 2024. There's a funny common denominator in all these towns that you guys just
Brazil,
mentioned.
we can't leave the hotel. San Francisco, we can't leave the hotel.
I will say Ricky Pearsall, absolute monster, getting shot in the chest and like not even being taken away on a gurney. He's walking out the paramedics. I mean, dude he might be a Hall of Famer.
When he comes out on the field, you got to play it.
And yeah,
I almost drafted him in fantasy just that.
Call me Lord.
You know who I feel really bad for? Brian Robinson.
Dude, that walkout last year was legit. After
like Brian Robinson was I got shot. I came back super quickly. Look how awesome I am.
Playing 50.
Pearsall's going to do the same thing.
But Ricky Pearsall was
funny thing happened in Washington.
Yeah. Ricky Pearsall's like, oh, you got shot in the leg? That's cute. I got shot in the chest.
He is very, very lucky that.
Oh yeah.
Look, you get shot in the chest, you got to get a tattoo now right there that looks like a bullet hole with blood spattered on it. Like that's
no, you just need to start hanging out with 50 Cent and get your street cred up.
He honestly, Ricky Pearsall might not have any canvas left on his chest to get a new tattoo.
Yeah, that's true.
He might have to go get some tattooed removal first to come back and get a new tattoo.
Yeah, it's called a bullet hole. It removed the tattoo.
He actually has a hole in a picture of his mom on his chest now.
What if he did? That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy, huh?
She's spread eagle or something.
We are super happy that Ricky Pearsall is alive and doing well. We hope that he makes a fast recovery. And also, we will just encourage everyone, stop shooting everybody. How about that?
Really. It's not that hard to not shoot somebody.
It was just a Rolex, too. Like, it's not worth.
Dude, that's all he got shot over was a Rolex?
He was trying to steal his Rolex.
Did he fight back and that's why they shot?
The guy who got shot, the shooter, like, got shot.
He's dead.
Yeah, he got like the guy trying to steal the Rolex died.
Local 7-Eleven where freaking Reed will sell you a fake Rolex out of his little thing.
I think it was like a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah, some 17-year-old kid was trying to steal his Rolex.
So wait, this 17-year-old kid
Died.
looked at this monster of a man.
No,
and said, "I'm robbing that guy."
Oh, sorry, he's not dead. We apologize for the misinformation.
I thought I read that too, though.
He got shot though.
Who shot him?
Probably Ricky Pearsall.
He probably took the bullet out of his chest and threw it at him. And
what Ricky Pearsall should have done is he should have grabbed a yellow and blue can, cuffed it like this, and just wham on that.
I did like AJ Hawk on the Pat McAfee show, being like he told the kid, he was like, "Hey, if you're gonna rob someone, maybe don't look at this freak of nature and be like, that's the guy."
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. That's the part where I don't understand. I would understand if he was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to rob him. I'm just going to kill him and then take his stuff. But this guy tried to rob him. Then a little fight scuffled out.
It all circles back. In the 80s, the Democrats passed laws that removed the father from the household. And
preach, brother. Preach.
Fast forward, that whole cycle gets wrapped up, and we have a fatherless society.
Preach, brother.
It has nothing to do with the alt-right, I can guarantee you.
The only one that has kids here is preaching about fatherless homes. He's doing good. What a great dad.
My kids are in private school.
His kids are in private school, baby.
Must be white privilege, bitch. Sorry.
Golly.
I just don't understand shooting. I don't understand trying to rob an NFL.
Speaking of white privilege, I was speaking with my grandpa yesterday, and he was telling me they didn't have electricity until after he graduated college.
Yeah.
At his house, they used lamps.
He was paid.
Yeah, but he had a house, Blake.
It was just a room.
I think it was more of a shack. And I think if my memory serves me correctly, he was paid like 10 cents a week to milk cows or something like that.
Yeah, he said he'd have to shovel through like 3 feet of snow, get to the milk the cows, and then he'd get back and they would just have lamp. I mean, they had no electricity. That's white privilege.
Crazy. All right. Well, we've hit over 2 hours, and
thank you, Charles.
I gotta go sleep. So we're gonna wrap it up for the night.
I gotta go back to work, fellas.
Yeah, once again, we appreciate everyone for listening in. We will try to. We're gonna have to find a way to be less long next week, because we'll have 2 episodes to do, and we can't film 4 hours. That'll be a nightmare.
We don't record them on the same day, Austin.
That's true, but I can't handle 4 hours per week. I don't have that much. I don't have that amount of time. But we're gonna be. Like we said, coming at you 2 times a week, starting next week. We hope that everybody, we hope that every single one of our teams comes out with a victory this week, except for the Chargers and Raiders could tie. That'd be awesome. And then that'd be great. We'll see y'all next time. We appreciate it.
Bye now.
Gig 'em.